Hey, what's up, guys? It's Firefang92, back from the dead. So, the iPad I was working on before sort of died, but now I got a new camcorder, new tripod, new everything, new setup. I'm ready to get back into the videos with a quick profile on Brawlers, one of my favorite decks all time. Still probably going to be running it after GBTO2, but I thought I'd run you through it right now, and we can talk about some of the edits I might make afterwards. So going right into the starter, we got Brawler fighting Draco Kid. He slips into the soul, and if your Vanguard's in Legion and something in the front row retires, you can retire something behind it. Really nice to get the snipe. A lot of people like to run the grade 3 searcher. I don't, because that's a 4K, this is a 5. And if you, in this deck, if the damage doesn't get up there, you're kind of going to be hurting a lot in late game. So you don't want them to be able to guard you early game. So 5k body. Going straight into the grade 3 lineup. 1, 2, 3, 4 copies of Brawler Big Bang Knuckle Dragon. What he does is, if he's in Legion, counterblast 2 Brawlers. He gains 5k and attacks the whole front row. Really nice. Gets you some nice, cool kills. Not much to say about that. It's a little underwhelming on its own, which is why they didn't take off right after BT16 in Japan. Also, when he attacks a Vanguard, you can Soul Blast 1 to give him 3k, which is nice because it helps you get to Legion faster. And getting to Legion fast is pretty important. Next up, we've got 1, 2, 3 copies of Brawler Big Bang Knuckle Buster. What he does is Legions, obviously, and if he is in Legion, you can counterblast, slip 1 Big Bang Knuckle, which is either Knuckle Dragon or Knuckle Buster, into the soul, and then he attacks 4 units, which is really awesome. Really great with the starter, because then you can go front row, front row, front row, back row, and counterblast. 3 counterblasts for a complete field wipe. It's pretty good in some situations. Though normally you'd be recommended to just take out the 5 and save some counterblast. I'm only running 3 because I have a side boss in this deck we'll talk about in a second. The really important thing about him is he gets 2k if Brawler Big Bang Knuckle Dragon is in the soul, so he activates his own cross ride and offers you some defense, which is pretty cool. And he swings for 27 on his own, which is really cool. Onto that side boss. 1 copy of Brawler Shotgun Blow Dragon. Really nice card. What he does is when he Legions, counterblast 2, your opponent chooses 2 rearguards to retire, and then if you have more rearguards than they do, he gains a crit, and plus 2k when attacking a Vanguard. The important thing to note here is that if you end up getting, if they keep the damage low and decide not to play a field, they're going to beat you out playing the slow game. So you need an option to push you into late game, which is where the crit really comes in handy. So I really play 1 of him. I can't play more because I don't want to jeopardize my ability to get off Knuckle Buster, but there he is at 1, and he gets a crit. Moving into the grade 2 lineup, we've got 4 copies of Brawler Big Bang / Buster. What he does, he gets plus 2k attacking if you have a Big Bang Knuckle in your Vanguard circle. So those Knuckle Dragons, Knuckle Busters we were talking about before. And every time your Vanguard hits, he gets 3k. So this is a really awesome card. He can be swinging for like 20, 23 on his own. And that's really epic. And if you get a single booster behind there, you've got like 3 stage 5 columns, which is awesome. Now we've got 3 copies of Brawler Big Bang slash Dragon. He's mainly in there for the Legion, but he also has the 3k when your Vanguard hits effect, so also a good combo piece with your slash Buster and slash Dragon. I keep him to 3 because there's a lot of grade 2s I want to play, as you're about to see. Next up, we have Military Brawler Lisei at 2. What he does is he gains 3k when something's retired if your Vanguard's in Legion. So another card to help you set up those big power columns. Very important. Brawlers, you want power columns. And he's the mate of Shotgun Blow, so playing him. Next, a card that I think is very underrated and important to the deck is 2 copies of Brawler Skybeat Dragon. When he's called, you can counterblast 1 to take out a front row. It's really nice, especially with Buster. That way he can hit one of the front rows and Buster can just focus on the back rows. Kind of like your combo with Fighting Draco Kid, except he can go off anytime. Also helps you get early game retires, so they're not pressuring you as much, which is helpful because you don't have a lot of defense. So it's a very helpful card. I really love it in the deck. I'm going to keep running it. Moving on to the grade 1 lineup. We got the obvious Sentinels. We got 3 Eradicator Wyvern Guard Guild Perfect Guard, and 1 Hardship Brawler Toshu. Really like playing the 1 Quintet Wall in my Legion decks so that I can just Legion a little bit faster. And then Perfect Guards because they're Perfect Guards. And also there's a special counterblast on Knuckle Dragon, so you want to be able to pay for that. So Toshu is a Brawler. Next up, the really staple grade 1 is Tonfa Brawler Arc. 4 copies of him. He gains 3k when something's 3k when something's retired if you have Vanguard and Legion. So really nice. Another tool to set up those power columns. Even if you can just get in like 2 retires behind a 9k, that's still 22, and that's a good number. Helps you put on that pressure. Hey, sorry guys, you're gonna see a weird cut there. Ran out of battery. Anyway, Brawler Wild Cloak Dragon, next grade 1. 10k attacker if you have a Brawler Vanguard. Nice early aggression, not much to say about him. The next grade 1 is 2 copies of your Rising Phoenix. What he does is, when he's called, Soul Blast 2, draw a card. Really nice. Narukami doesn't have a lot of defense, so getting the defense helps. Also, Speed to Legion by Soul Blasting 2. Speeding to Legion, very good, especially in this deck. Next is a little bit of a weird choice. 2 copies of Brawler Ego. He boosts a Big Bang Knuckle Dragon for 10k. Just another nice way to set up the power columns on rearguard. Though I don't find I use him as much because I mostly want to hang on to the Knuckle Dragons to use for Knuckle Buster skill. I'll probably be switching him out for like a Stride fodder when GB202 comes out. Triggers for draw, because draw. For heal, because heal. 6 crit, because aggressive deck. And 2 copies of War Drum Brawler Hoka. Really nice card. When something in the front row retires, you can sack him and retire something behind it. Into the drop zone. Yeah, put into the drop zone, so it even works when your Vanguard like attacks something. Cool card. Gets you those extra retires. I play him at 2 because he's not really as useful as you would think with the stand effect, because your Vanguard sort of has to attack first to set up those power columns, unfortunately. Otherwise, I'd play him at 4. No real G-Zone to mention because there's no Narukami Brawler or Narukami G units yet, so I've only got the Cray Elementals, you know. So, not going to go too far into that. I'm planning on doing things like adding in, you know, the strides and one copy of the break stride over him because it's also a crit pressure boss. Maybe swapping out the sky blow for like death scythe to accommodate that. Other than that, the deck's going to remain pretty much unchanged after GBTO2, except maybe a stride fodder and over the ego, like I said. So that was the deck profile. Hope you guys enjoy. See you next time.